I opened the front door and froze. The smell, it wasn't my house anymore. There was something different in the air, something I couldn't place at first. New furniture, fresh paint, but not mine. David. I called softly, my voice trembling. No reply. The house felt empty. Not empty like a home without life, but empty like it had been stripped of everything that belonged to me. Then I saw it. A stack of envelopes, neatly arranged on the dining table, addressed in my son's handwriting, to Mom, from us. My hands shook as I picked up the top one. It was official. My house. My home. The place where I had raised my children, hung their drawings on the walls, celebrated birthdays and holidays, laughed and cried 1,000 times over, was now legally in the hands of his wife's family. I sank into the nearest chair, my heart pounding, my mind spinning. How? Why? My son, my David, the boy I had nurtured from a child into a man, had done this? Without telling me. Without asking. And then, I heard a faint sound from the kitchen, laughter. Not my family's laughter. The laughter of strangers who had moved into the home I had built, the people my son had chosen over his own mother. I felt a rush of disbelief, anger, and betrayal. My body shook, my eyes blurred with tears, and for a moment, I couldn't even breathe. After a month in the hospital, fighting for my life, returning home should have been a relief, a joy, but instead, it felt like the ground had been ripped out from under me. And in that instant, I knew one thing: I had to understand why my son had done this, and what I would do about it. Before the hospital, life had been simple enough. My home was a sanctuary, a place where laughter echoed off the walls, where neighbors stopped in for tea, and where my grandchildren ran barefoot through the living room carpet. I had spent decades building this home, brick by brick, memory by memory. David had always been close to me. Even after he married, he called often, checked in, brought the kids over. Life had its ups and downs, sure, but we were a family that cared, protected, and loved each other deeply. His wife, Alina, well, I had reservations. I tried not to judge. She was polite, charming even, but there was always something calculating about the way she smiled. I told myself it was my imagination, that mothers always worry, that love for a son can make you overprotective. Then the hospital stay happened. A sudden illness, the kind that drains you physically and emotionally. I was admitted for over a month, my home empty except for the occasional visits from neighbors and a few texts from David. I trusted him to manage things while I was away. I trusted him, completely. I had no idea that, in that short time, my trust would be twisted. That my sanctuary, the home that held generations of memories, would be quietly handed over to people who weren't even family in the true sense. The first hint that something was wrong came from a phone call I received in my hospital bed. "Mom, just so you know, everything at the house is taken care of," David had said cheerfully. Taken care of? I asked, alarm creeping into my voice. What do you mean? Oh, nothing to worry about. Just some paperwork, some small arrangements. Everything is fine. You focus on getting better. I should have pressed harder. But I was weak, dizzy, and exhausted. I trusted him. And, honestly, I didn't think he would do anything to hurt me. Then came the whispers from the neighbors. While I was resting, they had seen Alina's family come and go from the house, moving furniture, taking measurements, planning renovations. At first, I dismissed it. Maybe they were helping, maybe it was just preparation. But the more I heard, the more uneasy I felt. Something didn't add up. My son had never been one to make grand, unilateral decisions, especially not about the home that had raised him. And yet, here I was, approaching the front door, and the house didn't feel like mine anymore. Walking through the house, I noticed the little changes first: the family photos replaced with pictures of Alina's relatives, the curtains swapped, the smell of perfume and fresh polish instead of the familiar scent of home. Then I saw the paperwork. Legal documents, deeds, and signed forms. My signature wasn't anywhere, of course. But David's was. Without consulting me, he had transferred ownership of my home to Alina's family. I called him immediately. "David, why? Why would you do this?" He sounded calm, even defensive. "Mom, it's just easier this way. They helped us a lot. They're family now too." "They're not family," I said, my voice trembling. "They are your wife's family. Not mine. Not ours. And this is our home, the place I built, the place I raised you in." He hesitated. I thought you would understand. I just wanted to make things simpler." Simpler. My heart felt like it had been punched. A month in the hospital, fighting for my life, and my son had given away my home without even a conversation. It was more than betrayal. It was a deep, soul-crushing shock. I looked around the living room, our furniture gone, our memories displaced. The weight of it pressed down on me like a physical force. I had to decide quickly. Would I fight? Would I confront? Or would I retreat, my heart broken, my sanctuary lost? I didn't cry. Not yet. I needed clarity, a plan. First, I contacted a lawyer, explained the situation, and discovered that, legally, I had grounds to contest the transfer. David had overstepped, misrepresented intentions, and the transaction was voidable. But I also needed to speak to him directly. That evening, I sat him down in the temporary hospital bed at home, our first night together after my discharge. "David," I said firmly, "we need to talk. About the house, about respect, about family." He tried to explain, but I stopped him. "No. I will listen later. Right now, you need to understand what you've done. You've placed your loyalty somewhere else, somewhere that doesn't value the family you came from. And that has consequences." Over the next days, I worked with the lawyer to begin reversing the transaction. I also spoke to Alina, carefully, politely, but with clear boundaries. She realized quickly that I wouldn't be pushed aside, that my role as David's mother and the original owner of the home could not be ignored. It wasn't easy. There were arguments, tears, and tension that filled every room. But I stood my ground. I reminded everyone of the memories, the family history, and the moral weight of taking a home that was not theirs. Months later, the house was fully restored to me. The furniture returned, the memories reinstated, and the sense of home re-established. David moved forward, wiser, humbled, and more aware of the importance of family respect. Alina and her family maintained a cordial distance. The children were happy. The house, once again, smelled of home, warmth, cooking, laughter, love. I learned that trust is precious, that family can falter, but that strength, clarity, and moral courage can restore what's been lost. My home wasn't just bricks and walls, it was the embodiment of years of love, struggle, and sacrifice. And nothing, not even betrayal, could take that away if I fought for it. Now, sitting by the fireplace, listening to the quiet hum of evening life in my restored home, I reflect on that month. On how easily trust can be broken, how quickly decisions can harm relationships, and how important it is to stand firm in the face of betrayal. Would you have had the courage to confront your own child? To fight for what was rightfully yours, even when it meant tension, tears, and conflict? Family is precious, but so is respect. Protect both, and your home, your sanctuary, can endure anything. If this story touched you, share it, reflect on it, and remember, love is not passive. Love fights. Love protects. And sometimes, love must take a stand.